Preseason is almost over. Real football that actually matters is just over that horizon. So I'm going to predict the winners of some of the NFL's biggest honors. Let's hit the intro.
Perfect.
I'm not here to waste time, so let's get things started with Defensive Rookie of the Year. And my prediction for the award winner is going to be Aiden Hutchinson of the Detroit Lions. He's walking into a culture that is getting bigger and better under head coach Dan Campbell. So far, the Detroit Lions are showing a lot of grit and a lot of tenacity under their new head coach. Obviously, not a lot of wins so far, but they are building a great foundation up there in Detroit. And I think Aiden Hutchinson is going to be that key cornerstone piece for Dan Campbell's defensive unit. So far throughout preseason, Aiden Hutchinson is showing a lot of that potential that we saw during the draft process. While you watched film and saw this guy go through the pre-draft workouts, the combines, etc., Aiden Hutchinson flashed pro-level potential every single step of the way. The number 2 overall pick out of Michigan is my prediction for this year's Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think he can help vault the Detroit Lions pass rush into another stratosphere. Do I think they're going to be putting up 70 sacks or anything crazy like that? No, absolutely not. But I do think Aiden Hutchinson walking in might be that tone setter for this Dan Campbell-led defense that's going to get after quarterbacks, be attacking, be ferocious, and be aggressive. Aiden Hutchinson is going to be that guy, and he's going to be my Defensive Rookie of the Year pick. Now, the Offensive Rookie of the Year, it's kind of up in the air, honestly. I think there's a lot of decent candidates this year. I think this year we're going to see it go right back to the quarterbacks, and this is a bit of an ambitious prediction as we aren't even sure if he's going to be starting the season at this point. But I'm going to say Kenny Pickett, the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pickett is walking into a very rare and amazing opportunity as a rookie quarterback in the NFL, alongside of a future Hall of Famer at head coach in Mike Tomlin, a very stout defensive unit that gets a lot of turnovers and puts a lot of pressure on opposing offenses. And then he has a lot of talent around him on the offense already. I think Kenny Pickett, if given his opportunity and his time to shine within the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, is going to help at least lead them a little bit closer to a potential playoff push. And I know that's very ambitious. However, if Kenny Pickett can start, and with the flashes and the brilliance that we've seen out of the only quarterback taken in this year's first round, if he can lead them to the playoffs, I think it's honestly more or less a wrap for the Rookie of the Year. I don't know how many other talents in this year's class are going to jump off the page and absolutely produce at the level that we saw last year out of a guy like Jamar Chase. However, I think Kenny Pickett has a very good opportunity this year to step up and take that torch and run with it. If the Pittsburgh Steelers are successful with Pickett under center and they make even a playoff push, maybe even snag a wild card spot, I think Kenny Pickett could very well find himself being the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year. There's a number of solid candidates this year. However, I think it's going to go to King Derrick Henry. Of all of the players that are eligible for this award, I don't think there's anybody quite as imposing and as dominant on the field quite like Derrick Henry is. Last year, the Titans' entire offense looks completely different without him, and while they were still able to make the playoffs and were a very, very strong seed walking into the playoffs, that offense still absolutely runs through Derrick Henry. It absolutely runs through the running game, and with the loss of A.J. Brown this offseason, this entire offense really is going to recenter and refocus once again on Derrick Henry. So as long as he stays healthy and he puts up some terrific numbers, as we all know he very well can, I think Derrick Henry just might very well power his way into being the obvious choice for the Comeback Player of the Year. NFL Coach of the Year, my prediction for this is going to be Brandon Staley of the Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Staley has built something so far in his time with the Chargers that is getting better and better and better. And I really like to see what they're doing. They've gotten a lot better on the defensive side of the football with some big offseason additions. Offensively, they've really come into their own these last few seasons. I think Brandon Staley's just running a very solid, very tight ship. I think the Chargers are going to make a big push this upcoming season. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Chargers even a little bit later. And I think Brandon Staley has a huge part to play in that. He could very well find himself being the most successful coach this upcoming season. So I'm going to tip my cap to Brandon Staley as my prediction for Coach of the Year. For Defensive Player of the Year, the NFL is filled with some amazing talents from a number of amazing defenses. However, I think there's going to be some extra chip on the shoulder with TJ Watt of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's a bit of a cop-out maybe to pick the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, but TJ Watt realistically has probably deserved at least a really solid consideration for the last few years, finally getting the tip of the cap by the NFL voters to win the award last year. I think he's coming for round 2 this upcoming season. He's still one of the best pass rushers in the entire NFL. He completely neutralizes an entire section of the defensive line. I think TJ Watt, while he might just be the favorite this upcoming season, I see the potential there. I think he wants to break the NFL sack record and not just tie it along with Michael Strahan. This upcoming season is going to be TJ Watt versus your entire offensive line. TJ Watt's going to be my pick to run it back for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, I think we're going to see another wide receiver land this prestigious award, and I think this year it's going to be Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson's NFL career trajectory so far within the 2 years that he has started within the NFL since coming out of LSU has been nothing short of amazing. Up there with the likes of Randy Moss and Jerry Rice as far as yards, production, catches, touchdowns. He's been an absolute phenom since stepping onto the field. He's one of my favorite wide receivers to watch. He can run amazing routes as an amazing deep threat, secure hands, a great body control. Honestly, there's a lot of great elements to Justin Jefferson's game. I think he is an absolute contender this year, and maybe even a little bit of a dark horse to win the Offensive Player of the Year award, throwing him into the mix with some of the other great receivers of the past few years who have won the award. If I had to make an ambitious prediction, I think Justin Jefferson, this might very well be his year. He's talked a lot this offseason about what he is pursuing this upcoming season, how he wants to be in the greats of wide receivers. That's his NFL career trajectory. I absolutely believe he could do it. I think this might very well be the year Justin Jefferson snags one of the most prestigious awards a non-quarterback really can win. And the NFL MVP, I am going to be very ambitious here. I'm not going with the Vegas favorite. I'm not going with an established veteran, so to speak. I'm going to go with Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert. I have a lot of really high hopes for the Chargers this upcoming season. I made a video weeks and weeks ago saying that, hey, I consider them a Super Bowl contender, and a large part of that really has to do with the quarterback play of Justin Herbert. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit skeptical of how good he was really gonna be coming out of Oregon, along with a number of other people, but so far Justin Jefferson has been the absolute truth, winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. He has been one of the most prolific quarterbacks in the entire NFL, and he so far has not slowed down. I think with a great head coach combination with Brandon Staley, an improved defense to help give them the ball back even more, and an absolutely dynamite offense with an offensive line that has already improved vastly. It's a recipe for success in Los Angeles within the Chargers organization. I think Justin Herbert right now has as good of a chance as anybody, any of the premier starting quarterbacks in the NFL to win the award. I think the Chargers are going to be prolific this year. I know it's pretty ambitious, but I think Justin Herbert might very well be the guy to bring them into the playoffs and maybe even get them a win or two. Am I predicting the Chargers to go all the way to the Super Bowl? Not quite yet, but Justin Herbert, I have a good feeling about him this year. Let's just chalk it up to that. He's going to be my MVP pick, and I'm okay with it. And finally, the Super Bowl prediction. Who do I think is going to make it to the biggest game in all of football? Well, the prediction is going to be the Buffalo Bills making their first Super Bowl since, 1994, and Tampa Bay. I think the Buccaneers are going to return once again with Tom Brady leading the way, potentially trying to ride off into the sunset with one more Super Bowl, but heck, who knows how much longer Tom Brady is realistically going to be playing. But I think the Buccaneers, with Tom Brady facing his former in-division foe with the AFC East from his time in New England, but a much better, well-rounded, more developed quarterback in Josh Allen this time around. I think it makes for a ton of amazing storylines. I think there's going to be a ton of people watching this potential game. You've got the old vet who's trying to grab even further immortality within the world of football, an 8th Super Bowl ring versus one of the most prolific quarterbacks of this generation so far, who's vying to get a Super Bowl for the amazing football city of Buffalo, New York. I think it's going to be a heck of a game if it does end up panning out that way. Maybe it's a bit of a cop-out as both of these teams could very well easily find themselves here this upcoming season. However, again, I'm thinking Buffalo Bills, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the final result, well, I hate to break some hearts, but I just never bet against Tom Brady. I'm gonna say the Buccaneers, but I'm okay with being completely wrong at the end of this entire video. We can look back on this months later, months down the road as we creep into the playoffs and creep up to the Super Bowl, and I'm perfectly okay with being wrong. That's the point of this video, is to just be ambitious, be hopeful, be excited, and be optimistic for a number of players for this upcoming season. A lot of people involved this upcoming season. I'm very excited for football. I'm sure you're excited for football, and I just can't wait for NFL Week 1 kickoff. So thank you so much for watching the video. Of course, feel free to stick around and watch some more content. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course, get the bell on to know every single time I'm dropping a video. My name is Tristan Blake Rines. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Adios.